you don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper than again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the first part of What If Saitama Enters Attack on Titan with Eren and Levi. Smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. In One Punch World, after the death of VERYYYY, Saitama was ready to attack God once more with serious series move. This time, since his normal punches didn't work on him, he said, should I get a bit more serious? But when he landed on his feet, God spoke loud and clear, poor creature. You will be exiled to another dimension, so you won't be able to stand against my plans. To me you are ant. Then God extended his hands and stardust was gathering together in the middle of his chest, making some kind of light ball, but Saitama was not afraid at all. Instead, he was getting excited to see what this attack was about to do. The caped baldy was hoping for a challenge from this so-called godly being. The only time he was getting a warm-up was only the time he fought Lord Burroughs. God's Pav. He is indeed powerful for a third-dimensional being. He's not one to be underestimated, but now it's over. He will be gone from that dimension this instant. He though inside his mind and stared back to his now fused light ball. If he had a face, he would smile at the bald hero by now. Begone, creature, your entertaining was quite enjoyable. Saitama was about to reply to him, but suddenly the light ball was sucking everything inside. It was like a black hole, but Saitama didn't know what was happening, and he didn't care either, so he got pulled inside that light ball God had created against him then. Black, only black, just like a space, except there was no stars. Saitama felt like he was flying for a mere seconds, but then the colors came back, noticing he was falling from the sky. Oh, I see the ground. The caped hero landed with his red boots on the ground, making a crater from his high momentum. Where am I? Damn, this god dude was kinda annoying. Just like telemarketings. And why are you giant people naked? He calmly asked them, but with no response. There was two titans front of him. The first was 8 meters and the other was 5. Both titans tried to eat him. With no effort at all, the hero dodged them easily, and with only one punch he turned them both to shreds. One punch again, how lame, he said while he was picking his nose with his right red glove. Saitama's Pav. After I killed those two naked people, a big wall to the horizon grabbed my attention, so I decided to go there and ask for information of how I can get back to City Z before the bargain sale was over. I didn't defeat that god guy though, but I don't seeing him around. Maybe he got bored and left. Crap, I totally forgot about Genos. I hope he is okay and got fixed by now. I remember him. He was into pieces from that god poor disciple. When Saitama reached outside of the giant wall, he simply just jumped, reaching the end of it and seeing the edge of where he was before. That wall had cannons on it, and he questioned himself why these people had those on a giant wall. Maybe they was at war or something. Little did he know when he heard a shocked voice from behind him on the wall with him. How the hell did you do that? He turned around with a blank expression on his face, and what he saw was not that strange. It was a young-looking girl. She was wearing a red scarf around her neck, dark brown long boots, a sleeveless light brown short jacket with a weird symbol on both sides of it and on front. The symbol looked like blue and white wings crossed together. She also had a weird-looking device that was having some blades on it, and it was attached on her legs. It was almost reaching her waist, but Saitama's expression remained the same, calmed and neutral. Hey, answer me. Saitama ran out of his throws and faced her. Oh, hi. The hero greeted her with his neutral expression still on. Can you just answer me how the hell you jumped all the way up here? I just saw you, and what's up with your dump outfit? Mikasa was now grabbing his chest with anger and frustration. Whoa, don't torn my suit. I don't have money to pay for a new one. I can barely buy some cabbage from the bargain sale, so please let go. I'll tell you if that low your temperature down. She let go and waited his answer with interest planted on her face. I just jumped from down there up here. Mikasa was now way more angry to that stranger she was having front of her. She thought he was clowning around, and his suit was one more evidence to support her point. Who do you think you are? And who you think you are making fun of, Baldy? Tell me the truth. She shouted front of him so loud that her saliva covered his face, but he still had the neutral expression. He cleared her disgusting liquids from his face, and then he finally spoke. Oh, gross. And hey, what if I'm bald? You got a problem with that? His face was angry and stupid at the same time. I don't care about that, Baldy. I just want to know how you accomplished something that to humans are surely impossible. The hero was now getting Mikasa's point. He had to give a different answer so she can believe his words, just like his hero training regiment. Unfortunately, he knew if all the people around here was just like her and like all the others he met in the past, then they were surely going to ask how he got his powers. I'm just a guy who is a hero for fun, and my name is Saitama. Mikasa's Pav. This baldy came out of nowhere. I literally saw him jumping all the way up here with no effort. As I see on his face he looks bored. I gotta find out more about him and inform it to Eren. Maybe he is not from around here. Wait, could it be what Armin was telling us about that giant lake called Ocean? Could it be possible that this baldy was coming from there? I must find out more. Hey, Mikasa! Armin shouted. It's Armin. I saw from the other side of Wall Rose and he wasn't alone. It was Captain and Eren with him. Without a second thought I said loud to them. Eren, Armin, Captain. You need to see this. Oh, they flying. Saitama's expression turned into one of excitement. Maybe he could have some fun here in this new world he was in after all. They landed and Levi was the first one to speak. Mikasa, who is this individual? Levi said with a calm expression. His name is Saitama, but what he just did, well, you won't believe me if I tell you so. She turned to Saitama. Can you do that again, Baldy? Go down and jump all the way up here again. Saitama was just right. Why you had to call me Baldy again? Saitama was getting a little triggered and itchy every time she was calling him Baldy, but slowly he was getting used to it cause many other people in the past called him like that. And yes, he still remembers the green sassy child calling him multiple names than just Baldy, like tennis ball, octopus, avocado, boiled egg, goblin, etc. Fine, I'll do it. Everyone was watching the hero with widened eyes. Does he have a death wish or something? Eren said as Saitama now jumped down and returned atop of the wall just to show them what Mikasa was trying to tell them. But his expression had turned from an excited one into a boredom one once again. You saw me now, yeah, hey, what now? I hope you won't ask me to punch something, cause if I do I'll kill it with one punch like I did with the previous two giant naked people. They was all shocked and staring the caped Baldy with awe. Everyone wanted to know how that guy did this with no ODM gear equipped, and what he was saying was surely sounded like nonsense to them, but that piqued Levi's curiosity. You saying to us that you can take down everything in one punch, and you even killed two titans, I'm assuming, cause I agree they are naked and giant just like you described them. Saitama raised an eyebrow to Levi and answered. These naked people attempted to eat me. They was surely hungry. Eren shouted with anger while he gritted his teeth. They are nothing compared to humans. They are brainless beasts that devour humans like you and us. Saitama didn't pay much attention to Eren and asked, look, can you tell me where is the closest road to City Z, cause I'm going to miss the sale? No answer. Everyone was shocked and confused. They was trying to believe what they saw. A yellow suit with white cape guy just jumped down the wall rose, and then he did the same thing to come back up. You must come with us, Mr. Saitama. Levi replied to the hero after he snapped out of it, and indeed he was the only one to snap out of it first. And then it was Mikasa, and after the other two. Oh, okay. Saitama simply said back to him and followed them. He jumped down from the other side of wall rose and he was running right behind them. Captain Levi, are you seeing this? He can keep up with our speed by just running. Levi turned his head back and there was no doubt Eren wasn't lying. The guy was right behind and waved at them while he was running. We will take him to Erwin. He will know what to do with this guy. When they arrived, we are here, Levi replied to them as they landed and reached the HQ. Okay, Mr. Saitama, you will answer me some questions I have for you later, but now you need to talk with someone else. Saitama was watching his surroundings and didn't recognize anything of it. Medieval houses, giant walls, fountains, two things was sure in his mind. He was not in his world, and most importantly he missed the sale. Commander Erwin sat in his office while he was reading several documents. Then there was a knock from the door. Come in, he said whilst he saw Levi, and a weird bald guy came into his office. Levi explained to him Saitama's amazing speed and unimaginable power. He even said to Erwin about the titans he faced and took them out in one punch. Hi, I'm Saitama and I'm just a guy who is a hero for fun. Erwin paused. I was sitting to my chair when I heard a knock from the door. It was Levi, and with him it was a guy that was wearing strange yellow clothes and a big white cape. He seemed not to be from around here. But then again, Levi told me things that it was hard to believe about our new possible ally that was front of me, so I decided to have a word with him personally in my office right now. Levi, leave us alone please. He did as I ordered him to do. After that I was alone with this Saitama, then I started the conversation. Please take a sip, I said to him, and he sat front of my desk. From what I have heard from Levi, you must be really powerful, my friend. But the situation here is not as easy as you think it is. Let me explain you everything. He nodded his head to me so I could continue. For years humanity was trying to reclaim its lands from the titans from inside the three walls, but with no signs of succeeding. I'm also informing you that humanity is living an extinction caused by the Titans. That's why we builded these 3 walls to protect humanity from the Titans. Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and the last one where is safer Wall Cena. Humanity have 3 forces so the cadets can choose which one they will join, but most of them joining the garrison regiment or the military police to be safe from the Titans inside the walls. But those who were brave enough joined the 3rd one called Survey Corps. We are the ones that risk our lives out of the walls to reclaim what is ours, our lands. Thankfully, with the great power of Yeager turning into a Titan, we successfully captured the well-known female Titan, and her name is Annie Leonhardt. Unfortunately, she is not in the condition to confess to us any information about her plans. If you want to know more about her, you can freely ask Captain Levi. But that's not all. Saitama kept in his mind the question about that Annie girl so he could question Levi later about it. We have found a route to the Shiganshina district, which is where we will uncover the secret of the Titan's origins. With Eren's Titan power and your unbelievable strength, we might be able to reach the district without any trouble whatsoever. Erwin continued, determined. 5 years ago, countless of innocent people lost their lives cause Wall Maria had been breached by the Colossal and the Armored Titan. I have faith for what Levi told me about you, Saitama. You and Yeager are the only hopes humanity have remained against the enemy. You are humanity's last sparks of freedom and hope, I said to him and waited for a positive answer. So you need my help to reclaim your lands and save humanity from those Titan things. Yes, Erwin calmly retorted back to the caped Baldy. Fine, I'll do it. I'll help you get back what is yours cause I'm a hero, and as a hero I must help those in need. Erwin planted a small smile on his face. Excellent. From now on you will be a member of the Survey Corps, and I'm sure with your powers your reputation will grow very fast. And the rumors about you will be true and known to all humanity. Saitama was scratching his chin. I don't do this hero job for admiration but because I want to. The commander kept his smile and shake his hand with Saitama's right glove. Of course you do, and of Kuhi cut him off to say something. If you want me to wear one of the outfits I saw the guys and the girl wearing earlier, forget it. Saitama responded and continue. My suit remains, and the cape, he said with an idiotic expression planted on his face. Alright, your Survey Corps team will be with Captain Levi, Erenyeager, Mikasa Ackerman, Armin Arlert, and our section commander Hange. Now you can proceed to leave. Captain Levi will show you your room. Surely you need some rest. I'm hungry, can I get some food? Erwin nodded to Levi while he came inside the office and pointed Saitama to come out. But the second he was ready to walk out of the door, Saitama shifted his head back to Erwin. You said something about a colossal titan and an armored one 5 years ago, huh? Erwin stooped up from his chair. Exactly. These 2 titans was the causation to lose thousands of lives when this incident happened. Humanity is still fearing that day and wishing it would never come back again. And that's why I see hope inside Yeager. And you, with both of you, humanity will escape from the darkness once and for all. Saitama's face turned into a serious one while shadows covered his eyes. I promise to you, while I'm in this world I won't stop till I find those 2 titans and stop them. From the world I came from I was fighting monsters 10 times bigger than those creatures you call titans, and much more stronger. Sure, they were all weak and I killed every single one of them with one punch, but if I compare them with those titans then the monsters was way more stronger. Erwin found his words very interesting. Can't you tell us a bit more about your world? I want to know, where are you from, my new companion? Saitama yawned and put his hands up from the lassitude. Maybe some other time cause now I totally need some sleep. Then he left the office and he followed Levi to show him the way to his room. Saitama laid down upon his bed to get some deserved rest. The food they gave him earlier to eat was really tasty, or he thought it was because he was so hungry, but it wasn't terrible either. He remembered about the 2 unique titans Erwin told him about and took a few seconds to think of it. He closed his eyes for a minute, but then simultaneously knocks from the door could be listened. A familiar and kinda serious voice and another one, which it was a female's one. Saitama opened the door to see who it was, and indeed it was Captain Levi, and behind him it was an adult woman with glasses and a huge smile on her face. She was even blushing, but Saitama didn't have a clue for what she could react like that. Then Levi spoke. Oi, Mr. Saitama, as Erwin told you, she is the section commander named Hange. You better treat her with respect. She will be with us in our team, and the same goes for you 4 eyes, he said with a serious tone, glaring daggers at the caped hero and Hange. Saitama was having his common neutral expression, but he nodded to Levi's words. OHHH, now tell me please, is what Levi told me about you true? About your unbelievable speed and jump velocity? She waited Saitama's reply impatiently with now red face. I don't understand the big deal with it, but yes, it's true, I did what I did back then, but like I said, it wasn't anything hard to do. They was really slow and Im was keeping up with them pretty easily. Levi crossed his arms together and rebutted her. Told you this guy is crazy and I witnessed what he told you about himself. Hange, who was now took a few steps closer to Saitama, and she asked once again, and you claim to be able to kill titans with your hands? Saitama normally said, yeah, and to be honest with you, really easy. She was now smiling so much, like a mad scientist was about to give life to an object or something. How you can do that? I mean, it's impossible for a human to complete such a thing. You saying you kill titans with no fear or doubt at all? With your bare hands? She was asking the hero intensely. Why would I be afraid of those things? Most of the time I feeling bored. I fought those giant naked people. Im was hoping for a challenge, but they were so slow and tried to eat me, but like I informed you, I took them down with one punch and then poof, there was only blood left. Oh, and the blood was becoming smoke or steam like. I don't know why it did that either. Is it because titans' bodies evaporating after you kill them? You need to know their weak spot are the napes. Hange gave Saitama information about the titans. I honestly didn't attack their napes. All I did was just a punch to their retarded looking faces and their whole bodies with their napes instantly exploded. Hange couldn't believe it. She was actually having a walking god front of her. Of course she had her doubts about the one punch the titans thing, but they will find the truth about that too eventually. So, Saitama, I would like to do some experiments with you later on if you want. Saitama was touching his temple and retorted, if that excludes any body part loss or weird potions, then I'm in. Ilus said with his dumb and funny face at the same time. You getting me more excited. I'm looking forward to those experiments, but now we have bigger problems to be worried about. Levi shifted his head towards her. What is it, Hange? He took a serious expression. Titans breached wall rows and probably they heading here. Saitama was paying attention and he was picking his nose at the same time. Damn, titans can't give us a break. Levi answered to both of them. Oh, so these giant naked people are coming to eat us? Saitama asked Levi, and he took the message when Captain nodded his head to an agreement. And that is not all of it, there's more. She exclaimed, there are titans inside the walls. We saw one in wall rows. I got into a little heat up with Nick, but I'll explain you later. Now we must go, and we will get him too as our guest. Erwin is gathering all the Survey Corps members in Stohes district, and we are not entirely sure what we are going to do, but he should have a plan about that. Levi touched Saitama's shoulder and replied in a serious but disparaging tone. Lucky you are, mister. The rest of the team is there. When we reach them you will have a lot to say. I still didn't learn about your power or your origins, and I demand to know. Saitama shrugged and yawned. Okay, let's go getting over with it, cause right now I'm losing precious sleep. Levi nodded to Hanjoy. Mister, let's go, we got no time to waste anymore. Saitama stared at the short commander with a disappointed face. Mister is not my name, why can't you just call me Saita? He instantly remembered other people in the past calling him way worse titles than Mister, like the sassy child with green hair from his world or the girl with the red scarf. Forget it. They got out of the room and start walking to Stohes district, but then, stop, I forgot something important. The caped hero shouted, grabbing both Levi's and Han's attentions. What is it? Levi demanded to know. I forgot to clean my cape from all the dirt and the dust from some hours before when Im was following you. It got all messy. Levi smacked his forehead so hard like there was a mosquito on it. You are an idiot. Think before you say anything, mister. Saitama raised an eyebrow with a nervous expression planted on his face. What? It's really hard to clean it off later cause it will get dry. Levi smacked his forehead once again in disbelief. Levi's pav. Is truly that guy what he's saying he is, or he just fooling around? I'm hoping it's not the second one, but he already showing how much dumb he is. But my eyes didn't deceive me. I saw him doing this crazy leap to get on the wall, and then when he was matching with our speed he was incredibly fast. He doesn't even need maneuver gear or a horse. Only one thing left to witness if he truly is an unstoppable force. To see him taking down a titan with his hands, as he keeps saying. Erwin, I know you hoping for the best of humanity, and we have that brat Eren who have the power to turn into a titan, but what about this bald guy? The powers he has shown to us till now are unbelievable. There's no other way to describe it. If he is veritably so powerful, then humanity has a chance of survival, and how you said, humanity has a spark of hope. Or two. Some time later, Mikasa said, Eren, wear it right. It's cold at night. Mikasa replied to Eren as she took the dark green Survey Corps cape and covered it all around him with a cold expression. The teenagers who were on the back of a carriage heard Han's voice from some distance. They shifted their heads and saw 4 people walking towards them. It was Hange with Captain Levi next to her. Right behind them a priest of the Order of the Walls could be seen, and of course next to him it was the one and only caped Baldy with his mighty yellow hero suit and his zipper at the middle of it. Even in this dark, his bald head was shining with the light of the torches. "Sorry to keep ya," Hange said while she was waving at them with a slightly smile. "Took longer to prepare than we though." The four sat on the carriage across the three teenagers. Saitama was from the other side of the carriage and he was facing Mikasa. He could tell she wasn't very happy to see him. He would had a chat with her later on, but Eren and Armin was now sweating and had a terrifying reaction planted on their faces when they saw the caped hero, but Mikasa had an opposite feeling in her mind about the baldy. A few seconds of quiet later, Armin spoke. Isn't you the guy we met a few hours ago on the wall? That you just jumped down and leaped yourself up the 15 meters wall, and after then you was able to keep up with our 3D maneuver gears." Hange smirked, and before Saitama could say a word, "Yes, yes, oh and yes, he is indeed, and his name is Saitama," she exclaimed to them. "Oh hi again," Saitama replied with his blank expression. "And isn't this a priest from the Order of the Walls?" Armin asked. "Yep, the three of us has been best buddies." Hange smiled and extended her hand to reach Nick's and Saitama's backs. "Right." Saitama shook his head to confirm her words, and Nick didn't said anything either. Armin was still doubtful, especially with Saitama. "Don't let them bother you, and I hope you three get along with Saitama, cause now he will be with us for a long time." She released a few laughs cause of the fact she knew the guy next to them was a walking god. "And the whole makeup of this squad doesn't make any sense, am I right, Levi?" She turned to face the captain. His tone was clear and obvious. "No, I think it might. Erwin picked them out for a reason, most specifically Eren, and that mister." He pointed with his thumb Saitama, who was scratching his armpits. "When we crossed the gate you got a lot to explain to us." That was the last words Levi said before they all hear Erwin in front of all the members lines on his horse. "Open the gate." The soldiers obeyed to the order and opened it. "The situation at Wall Rose is unclear, but everything up until AMH is safe. We'll save time going through there. Move out," he shouted to everyone, but before he turned his back to them he saw far away to the last lines a carriage, and Saitama was on it in his yellow suit. Erwin smiled a bit and felt an emotion that he had experienced few times. "Real courage. Take us out," Levi said. "Yes sir," the rider to the front said, and moved out like all the rest of the Survey Corps. Armin was lost in his mind while he was staring at the walls and thinking about the titans that was inside them. Eren grabbed everyone's attention by saying nervously, "Huh?" He knew. "There's titans inside the walls and he's known about it." Hange answered, "Yes, though. He's kept his mouth shut this entire time." Eren stood up angry to the priest. "No, no, no, no. This is all backwards." Saitama was watching the boy, and though inside the thick head of his, "That dude is getting angry really easy. Maybe I should intervene and calm him down." Eren continued, "If there's something you knew, tell us about it. Nothing's more important than keeping humans from going extinct." Eren felt dizzy and holded his head. "Eren, settle down. You're not fully healed." Mikasa put him back to his seat gently. Saitama spoke at last. "Oi, you should eat some ice cream to relax, dude. You acting like a freak front of everyone." Mikasa almost instantly stood up from her seat and glared daggers to Saitama. "If you ever insult Eren again I'll gut you like a fucking fish. You got that, bow?" "Enough, Mikasa," Eren answered. "Eren, forgive me." She sat back down and covered her mouth with her scarf. "I overreacted. I didn't mean to shout that much, and that thing you called ice cream. Well, Saitama sir, I have no idea what that is." "Neither do us." Levi shifted his head towards the hero. "And that's the time you explain to us about you, your powers and your world, mister." Saitama took a deep breath and mumbled, "This will be way bigger story than the one Genos told me when he came to my apartment." The caped hero was about to start, but then, "You know what? I'll tell you sometime later, cause we will be on this carriage a long time, right?" "Exactly, Mr. Levi finished." Saitama crossed his legs together and his hands behind his head. At long last some rest. He fall asleep at the first 5 minutes, leaving everyone with question marks in their minds about his story. 18 hours after the Titan spotting, Hange was holding in her hand the crystal fragment from Annie's Titan body. "Hey, wakey wakey mister, you was asleep for several hours." Levi shook the hero and woke him up. "Oh, okay, I'm awake. What is that little thingy you holding?" Saitama asked Hange. "I'll let you know, but first tell us everything about you, just like Levi want to know so badly." TCH Levi shook his head and looked away. "And I know everyone right here tonight dying from curiosity about you, Saitama." He sighed. "From where to start? All the way back, or literally what I was doing before you four found me?" The single riders that was close enough to see him. They was talking about that bald guy. "Are you seeing this guy how is dressed?" A member told to the other. "Don't mind him. I'm sure he's nuts and probably even lost it. Now forget about a nobody. Focus on our mission." The other one nodded and took his sights off Saitama. "Tell us everything about your previous life and your world, Saitama. We all want to know." Hange said with an excited face. I was living a boring life into cities and I was trying to have a bit of fun with my hero hobby, but all the time I was facing a monster. It was going down with one punch, and when I say monster I totally mean how you thinking of a monster. With crazy superpowers, big claws or sharp teeth, the ability to fly or even dig under the surface. And they could talk too. Everyone was now had widened eyes. All of them was stuck on the hero with awe. I have a disciple too. His name is Genos and he's a cyborg. He is not as fast as me, but if he was here against those titans he would incinerate them all with his cannons. In starting to miss him. Hope is fixed by that doctor who was repairing him all the time. Eren asked what is a cyborg. Saitama shifted his head to him. Cyborg is a person that have robot and human parts on his body. Genos is more like a robot and breaks all the time when he facing an opponent stronger than him. Saitama lifted his finger, letting them notice he remembered something. We also have the Hero Association from where I come from. It's like an organization that fighting monsters. There are different classes and ranks in between the heroes. For example, the top class is the S-class heroes, after that the A class, which I am now, B class, and last one the C class. Amazing. Why, you live in peace to your world, Saitama, sir. Eren hadn't seen anyone like that before. He indeed was from another dimension. Let me finish my boring backstory so I don't have to tell it to you again, and stop calling me sir. Dude, I'm only 25 years old. Eren nodded his head in embarrassment. Anyway, the heroes getting promoted if they defeat a monster. The monsters had their own association, but I dealt with them too, and I defeated their boss. In one punch again. Recently me and Genos was fighting a dude named God. He was the second opponent I faced and didn't die from my punches. The first one died after a few punches, but not him. After some time I was starting to getting hyped about this battle, but he did something with a ball and pulled me inside it. When I fell from the sky and landed, I faced the two titans I already told you about. After that I saw the wall. Everyone was now dripping drops of sweat around their heads. Even Levi a little, and that is my boring story. He put his head resting on his hand. Fell from the sky. Armin asked with particular interest. Although humans was beyond the ocean, but I had no idea about the sky. Saitama retorted, "Oi, don't take it too seriously. I highly doubt you will see any other human falling from the sky like me. About your fact with the ocean, I don't know if there are other humans, but probably there are." He said those words without hesitation. "How can you be sure about that? You barely know about our world." Levi questioned back to the hero. "It's just my thought, cause there's no way you are the only humans existing on the entire planet." Everyone was on a huge thinking after the hero finished his theory. "It's too early to know that. Let's just focus on the mission." Levi ended the conversation with the hero. Hange no response. Hey, 4 eyes. She didn't respond again. She was firstly took some minutes to process Saitama's story, and after that she was staring the fragment. Levi didn't give up. "Are your hobbies so boring that playing with rocks is somehow fun for you?" He retorted. "Yeah, that's right." She showed everyone the piece of crystal. "But this is no ordinary rock." Saitama raised his eyebrows. Finally he will find out what it was. "It's a hardened fragment of skin left behind by the female titan." Armin responded, "It didn't disappear, right? Annie reverted from a titan, but it's still intact even though it broke off her body." Hange continued with a serious expression. "It didn't evaporate. It didn't disappear. So what if?" She had a flashback when I compared it to a piece of the wall. Its pattern and composition were practically identical. In other words, the wall is a barricade of humongous titans. And if I'm right, the surface is constructed with hardened titan skin. That's exactly what Armin was saying. Mikasa joined the conversation. Then Hange put her hand on Armin's face to prevent him from saying anything. "Let me finish." Armin. Hange was now sweating even more. "As it stands, we'll be hard-pressed to fill the hole in wall rows. That is, unless we can find the perfect boulder to plug it. But if Eren in his transformed state could use the Titan's hardening ability to seal the hole in the wall." Eren was shocked even more now. "Use me to seal the wall. It should be made of the same material. And seeing how the hardened section won't evaporate, even after you revert from a Titan. It's possible." Saitama came in their chat to give his own answer. "I heard enough. Next time keep it to 20 words or less. And about the plan to seal a hole you want so bad, I can simply put a huge rock and stuck it inside." Now everyone was staring at him like they saw a ghost. "No one can lift such a big rock. Even in my Titan form it was hard for me to carry the giant boulder in the wall." Saitama didn't give attention to Eren, cause to him it was child's play to do it. They was just still had their doubts about him. Armin replied, "If you are surely so powerful, then we could quickly make our way to Shiganshina. What if we carried out the plan with them at night?" Hange asked the same. "At night?" "Yes," Armin said, and continued, "During the night, when the Titans can't move." Saitama found his plan pointless and said, I can just kill all those titans if you having a hard time at day. We doing it at night so we won't have anyone eaten Saitama. Oh, okay. He turned towards Hange while she was speaking. If the group was small enough, you could sneak all the way to Wall Maria. She gave a look back to the fragment. The current situation is bad as it gets, but we still have 2 glimmers of hope. She smiled to Eren and Saitama. That basement. Eren remembered my dad's basement. He took out and looked the key he had around his neck. If what my dad said was true, we'll find the answers to everything there. Mikasa was looking at Eren for a mere seconds. Hey, can I have a closer look with that thingy? Saitama asked Hange with blank expression. Of course you can hear. She handed over to the caped hero. After a minute they hear a crack sound. What was Hange paralyzed her limbs like everyone else in pure shock when she noticed what was done. Saitama had smashed the crystal inside his palm when he clenched it into a fist. Oops, I broke it. She screamed so loud the riders who were in 30 meters radius heard her very clearly. He her doubts about him was starting to disappear little by little. Saitama, how you did this? Armin was as shocked as everyone. What? It was way too fragile, you know. The caped baldy answered them honestly. Hange smiled like a bad scientist again and turned to Levi. You thinking the same, Levi? What is it? 4 eyes. His eyes widened a little bit more and he exhaled. You want to use him and try to see if he destroys the crystal around the brat Annie down you. Hange nodded her head 3 times while she was drooling and her stare was on Saitama. I completely doubt if he is able to do that. Mikasa spoke. He is indeed strong and fast, but no human can reach such state to break Annie's crystal. She hate to admit it front of Eren, but she totally knew he was about to surprise them even more. Yoan told me about this Annie and I forgot to ask you about her, Saitama said and shifted his head to Levi. His name is Erwin and yes, him was going to have a talk with you for that brat. But Hange came first with her rock. Until we test this experiment we have a long way. For now we must focus on our current goal. The section commander replied and ended the chat. After the conversation about the female titan was over they hear Hange say, the AMH district. After their arrival, they separate ways. Levi took Pastor Nick with him and Saitama stayed with Eren and Hange. Once we leave AMH, we'll be in Titan territory. And Saitama, make a good impression. I know you have great potential in you from what you have shown to us so far. Moblet met with the 3 of them. Eren, can you ride a horse? He asked the Titan shifter worried. Yes, I feel fully recovered now. Moblet was about to continue but Saitama grabbed his attention. Section commander is he. Hange nodded her head. And she was blushing a little too. He's with me and trust me he is way more than just a show-off. She smiled to Saitama. Alright then, Eren, your horse is ready at the west lift. Let's hurry. After taking some steps forward they spot Levi and Nick had returned. Section commander, we must hurry. Hange replied back to Moblet. Give me a minute, Moblet. She run to speak with Nick. After he told them about Krista, a girl with a Survey Corps uniform and a brown ponytail entered the wooden door with a piece of paper in her palm. Excuse me. She was a bit serious and funny. Saitama was taking a nice look to her style and thought in his mind. Oh, her hairstyle looks exactly like one of Fubuki's group member. She saw him taking good looks on her but she ignored him cause of her recent objective. 104th Cadet Corps. Sasha browse. Her. Eren said, who's that? Hange asked him. Then Sasha walked near, and she was behind Eren, Saitama, Mikasa and Armin. This is for you. Section commander. Pastor Nick spoke. You must find her at once. Only she may know the truths which even we cannot perceive. That's all the information I can share. The rest I leave it to you. Hange spoke back. If she's in the 104th then she's deep in the front lines right now. Eren shouted to Mikasa, Armin and the caped hero. Let's go. We need to hurry. He accidentally ran on Sasha that was behind him. Wait. Before she fall down, Saitama catch her with an inhuman speed and now she was feeling thankful to this bald man that just helped her. Are you alright? Saitama gave her a question and he looked down to confirm she's all good. Sasha was now staring Saitama just like she was always doing with food on the table. With pure joy. I'm a lot better now. She touched his cheeks, winked at him and she was blushing too. Here you go, he said, leaving Sasha back on her feet. Sasha, what are you doing here? Mikasa asks her and then she immediately remembered why she was there and stood up. Upon my arrival, I gave my report to the commander. Afterwards I was entrusted to deliver this message to the section commander. Sasha took a gentle bow and gave the paper to Hange. Message, thank you, good work. The section commander took the message from Sasha's hands and traded it with a cooked potato which Sasha that was blushed now almost ate it all. But she hold the half piece of the potato and asked Saitama, Do why you want this. Saitama, with his expression turned into a happy one from seeing nice food, didn't deny and ate the other half. Thank you, ponytail girl. She put her hands behind her belly. Call me Sasha. He nodded again to her, and then his vision shifted towards the others. So who is this girl in the 104th? Hanj asked Eren. She's the smallest one of us. Armin gave her more details about Krista. She's got long golden hair. And she's cute. She's always hanging around Ymir, Mikasa said, making Hanj think of it while Levi was standing behind. Ymir. They got prepared to head at Krista's location. Everyone understand? Hanj replied to all of them and taking a synchronized answer. Yes. Eren was getting even more worried about the situation. We've got to go. Levi stopped Eren, telling him to calm down. You all listen too. The captain took the attention of Saitama, Mikasa, Eren and Armin. We're going our own ways now. The rest is up to you four. Erwin may have thrown together your squad, but everything's riding on you. Got it, Armin? Work with Hanj and combine your knowledge. Why, yes sir. Levi shifted to Mikasa. Mikasa, I don't know why you're so attached to Eren, but use your utmost of your ability to protect Eren at all costs. Yes sir. Of course. Eren came up next to speak with him. Eren, learn how to restrain yourself. Don't succumb to rage and lose sight of the goal. We can't afford another mistake. Levi was staring them all with a very serious face. Yes, sir. Finally, the attention of the team was now on the caped baldy, who was cleaning his eyes. And finally, Saitama. They all immediately thought in their heads, it's the first time Captain Levi calling him with his name. This is the first time you will be in public action, so please do make a good show for the audience. And I mean, use your real potential and don't hold back. Keep your eyes peeled. Protect whoever you can, but most importantly Eren, just like Mikasa. Saitama raised his left eyebrow in surprise and retorted back to the short captain. You want me not to hold back? You seriously asking me this? The hero's innocent face took confirmation after Levi nodded. Nah, I think a normal punch is more than enough, and you will see why. Saitama shifted to the teenagers. Yes, I want to see you finally fighting titans with your bare hands, Saitama. Let us witness your true power. Armin said to him, and the hero gave him back a word as an answer. Okay. They all ride on their horses except for Saitama, who was able to keep up with their speed on foot. The soldiers around him, excluding Mikasa, Eren, Armin, who they witnessed it before, got shocked, and some of them almost fall from their horse by seeing this. The caped hero reached next to Hanj and Moblet, who was staring Saitama with huge awe. Saitama, I never doubted about your unbelievable powers. Yes, she did when she first met him, but she would never admit it. There's a tower nearby where we can assess the wall. It's in an abandoned castle to the southwest. We'll ride to Utgard Castle, she said to the hero with a calm expression. The three teenagers, who was a little further behind of them, was seeing this godly-like human. Mikasa, this is not a dream. I cannot wait to see what he can do against titans, Eren said, but she was looking frustrated for that. Hey, what is it, Mikasa? Armin joined in the conversation. No, it's nothing. They was all heading to the Utgard Castle to rescue Krista and the others. When the rescuers arrived, a titan was extending his hand to grab Krista while she thought, wait, then it was a fist of a red glove that punched the titan's face and made him literally explode, leaving Krista with wide open eyes and with an inner paralyzed shock. Her savior stood on a small boulder of the tower and turned back to face her. You did well on your own. It was the caped baldy with a serious expression. Then Mikasa landed next to him, shifting her head to Krista and replying, leave the rest to us, Krista shouted while she was staring at the badass duo. Mikasa, and who is? I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun. The little girl wasn't able to believe what she just witnessed. All the Survey Corps members came flying with their maneuver gears and start slaughtering the titans. Have the others to disperse and cover the area. The rest of us will attack where the titans are gathering. Hanj gave the order and a guard next to her said back. Got it. Eren took off to kill his first titan with the swords, but that took Hanj's attention. Hey, we don't need you to be a part of the attack. Eren ignored her and launched himself behind the titan, cutting off his nape. I did it. My first kill. He was happy, but the hooks of his gear tied up with each other and made him fall down. Saitama prevented Eren's fall and grabbed his back, leaving him on the ground. Phew, thanks Saitama. And you moron. I told you to stay back, Eren. Eren stood up and retorted to them. Right, I'm sorry, and Saitama. Thank you. Saitama nodded to him with his serious face. Hey, Eren. It was Connie, Reiner and Bertholdt with him. They was running close to the Titan shifter and the hero. You guys, Eren replied with surprise while Mikasa and the others was killing titans at the background. Thank God you made it, Connie said in relief, but now the one that was on the spotlight was Saitama, that instantly took everyone's attention from the start when he killed the titan and saved Krista. Who is he, Eren? Ryuner asked with shock while Connie and Berthold had the same planted expressions cause of Saitama's infinite strength. Right, here is humanity's second glitter of hope and his name is Saitama. He said to us when we first met him that he is a hero for fun. He fell from the sky and ended up in our world. And his abilities are out of this world. Is probably 10 times stronger than my Titan form. Cause I just can't imagine myself fist clashing with him. I mean, you saw what he just did and saved Krista. Ryuner and Berthold start sweating for some unknown reason. This is bad. Really bad. We had to deal with Eren and now this. Who the hell is this Saitama now? That pops out of nowhere and punch Titans to oblivion. Ryuner thought inside his mind, we must inform it to Zeke immediately. Or else, get to cover, I can handle this alone. The caped Baldy walked towards another Titan grabbing his attention. When he jumped all the way down to eat and swallow the hero Eren. Connie, Ryuner, and Berthold heard 3 words coming out of Saitama's mouth before turning the Titan into ashes and vaporizing blood. With only his right hand and a killing look on his face. Consecutive normal punches. After the fight was done, everyone's attention was on the hero and Krista, who was holding Ymir in her hands. It seems she was a Titan shifter like Eren. It can't be true. Saitama is indeed a... Armin was about to say something but Eren finished for him. A living god. Armin stared back to Krista and Ymir. And that, Ymir is. Hange was next to Ymir and Krista. Then the little blonde spoke to the injured Ymir who was missing her right hand. Ymir. Ymir opened her eyes slowly and her stare was into Krista's eyes. Krista smiled to her and showed tears of relief. My real name is Historia. Ymir gave her a slight smile and closed her eyes. Everyone went silent for a couple of seconds before Saitama said to Hange with his now neutral expression planted on his face. Where I can find the bathroom. Hange now start to understand why Levi was smacking his head back then. After the rescue of the Southwest Scouts from the caped hero and the reinforcements. Upon the ruins of the battle, Eren, Saitama and the others learn a surprising truth about Ymir. But Saitama wasn't surprised enough to break his boredom face. Rain start washing the lands while Saitama and the Survey Corps was on wall rows. A soldier orders slowly. Bring it up slowly. Raise it carefully now. They was using a lift to get Ymir on the wall. Still some soldiers was frightened and their eyes could not look away from Saitama. Especially from his bald head. Saitama was next to Eren who now asked a random soldier about Ymir's condition. How's Ymir? What sort of shape is she in? He answered her right arm and leg were bitten off, and her insides are beaten like scrambled eggs. Saitama mumbled eggs. He grabbed both Eren's and the soldier's stares. What is your problem? Who the hell are you? And how you killed Titans with just your fists? The soldier still remembers what Saitama did, but Eren support the hero. He is with me and believe my words, he is humanity's biggest hero. Eren said with a proud look on his face. The soldier continued, whatever. If she was normal she'd be dead for sure. He walked back and left Eren and Saitama. If she was normal, huh? He shook his head towards Saitama. Hey Saitama, oh. He was having a dumb face on. First of all, you are like me and Ymir. You're not normal. Humans with your strength does not exist. But thanks for being here. Humanity was hoping for a miracle to happen, and you are exactly that miracle. Remember how you came to our cruel world right from the sky, just like an angel of justice, and your only goal, to save the ones that are in great need. Thank you so much. I'll always honor your glorious name. Saitama shut him off by saying, nope, that's enough dude. Next time keep it to 20 words or less, alright. Eren nodded to him and looked back to see Ryuner struggling to climb the wall with only his left hand. He ran to help him. Ryuner, grab on. Ryuner respond right. Eren helped him to get up while Saitama was hearing Historia talking to Hange about Ymir, and how she saved them before they arrived to the tower. I see Hange continue her words towards Historia. Obviously, I hope we can build a trusting relationship with her, just like that god, or how he tell us to call him, hero over there. Hange was pointing to the hero in yellow suit and white cape. Can you tell me who is he? He saved me from a Titan back to Utgard. Hange smirked. Huh. Everyone wants to find out, but few know about his no limits power like Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Captain Levi and me. And possibly Erwin know about it too. Historia was now staring at Saitama as they made eye contact from a distance. I want to meet him, she said to section commander with a feeling of hope. Hange continued, his judgment aside. The strength he holds is a treasure to humanity. I hope you get along with him. His name is Saitama. Historia was surely interested in finding out more about him. But you know, Hange made Historia switch back to her while they start walking. Even now he is a walking god. This world becomes even more of a confusing mess with every passing day. Historia thought about it. You said your real name was Historia Reyes. Historia gave a serious face to Hange. Yes, that's right. Rias, as in that noble family? She asked Historia. Yes, they stopped walking and Hange said I see. She turned back and put her right hand on Historia's shoulder. Nice to meet you, Historia. Yeah, the little blonde replied. Back to Saitama and Eren. Damn, it hurts. Ryuner was touching his injured right hand. You alright, Ryuner? Eren speak to him. Not by a long shot. A titan nearly gnawed off my arm. It was pathetic. I thought I was done for. Ryuner was holding his head tight with his other hand. Armin came up the wall and Eren helped him get up on it while he was speaking to Ryuner. Even someone as strong as you gets this way sometimes. Ryuner extend his hand towards Eren's arms and Saitama's location. What are you talking about? This is the second time for me. Tell him, Armin. Huh? Ryuner continued. Remember the time I almost got crushed in that titan's hand? Oh, Armin remembered Annie in her titan form grabbing Ryuner in her hand tight. But then he escaped somehow. As for Saitama, he didn't had a clue and he didn't care what was going on either. Back then, Ryuner say to him, that makes twice I've nearly died. At this rate, I'll be dead before I know it. I picked this path on my own, but being a soldier is rough. It's like a soldier's spirit breaks down before their body. Though, until we plug up this wall, there's no time to waste whining about it. Eren speak to him. Yeah, you two have been driven far enough away from your hometown. I'm thinking, this is where we gotta draw a line. Saitama, who was next to Eren, was ready to join in, but Bertholdt reply. He's right, Ryuner. Our hometown. Let's return. Isn't it time to go back? Compared to all the troubles we've been through, what's left to do is nothing. Ryuner sweat a bit and said, that's right. We're so close, it's just another few steps till the end. Eren got confused. Huh? What are you guys talking about? Saitama was now remembering his own hometown, City Z, and his apartment. He kinda missed his old and boring life. Even still here, it wasn't happening anything interesting really. After some time, a member of the garrison advance squad came to give them information about the hole. It was Hans. We spend all night searching for it. But at least between Trost and Kralva district, there's nothing wrong with the wall. Hans got nervous. What do you say? Hans kept saying we bumped into soldiers from Kralva and retraced our steps. We haven't seen any titans the whole way here. Armin retorted to him, but we know for sure there's titans on this side of the wall. Eren spoke too. Did you actually look? Are you sure you're not drunk? Hans explained, I didn't drink. Wait, why are you all here anyways? The wind got wilder and the flags was floating like crazy on their rods. Hans gave up for today as she put a finger on her face and said, if there's no hole in the wall, so be it. For now we're falling to Trost district. Everyone was leaving and walking away. Hans gave an advice to them. Whatever you do, don't let your guard down. We're going back ahead of you. And what about you? He asked Saitama calmly, but Eren filled him in. He's with us, Hans, and he is something else. Alright then. He flew away with his ODM gear. There's nothing wrong with the wall. Eren questioned himself while Mikasa and Armin walked forward and led him and Saitama behind with Ryuner and Bertholdt. Ryuner then said, Eren, Saitama, oh. Saitama was so bored of this whole situation and he wanted to punch something, but he wasn't finding his chance. You both have a minute. Ryuner told them serious and continued, we need to talk. Eren turned his head to him and asked, what about? Ryuner turned his back from the other scouts and replied, 5 years ago, we demolished the wall and begun our attack on humanity. Saitama's expression turned into a dumb one. That means you two are what Eren told me about. Yes, Saitama, and I'm glad you took it so calmly. Him the armored titan and he's the colossal titan. He pointed Bertholdt. What are you talking about? Eren showed disbelief and didn't took Ryuner seriously. Saitama did believe them and show relief. Ryuner was glad he got Saitama on his side. That's what he thought at first though. You guys did a lot of bad things from what Eren told me. I hope you have a decent excuse about that. Saitama was now showing a neutral expression with a small smirk. See, there's no need to argue or even fight. We just want you two to come with us. The hero replied to Ryuner, I agree to that cause. I don't want to fight humans. I only fight and kill monsters. Ryuner said and shifted to Eren while Bertholdt held Ryuner's injured hand and said, scared. Why are you telling them, Ryuner? Ryuner did not respond to him and shake his hand off while he speak to Eren. Our primary goal was to ensure all of humanity wipe out. But now there's no need for that. Like I said to Saitama before, we can be allies. Eren, if you agree like Saitama to come with us, we won't have to destroy any more of the walls. Understand? The caped Baldy nodded his head, letting them know he agreed. But Eren lost it and spoke. No, wait. I don't understand at all. Ryuner say again, I'm saying. Why don't you just come with us like Saitama? No response from Eren. He just lose it and had a coma for some seconds. Oh come on, it might be a little bit of fun. I'm kinda curious to find out why you did so much crimes. Ryuner couldn't believe his straight up tell them plan worked. For the hero at least, Eren is the cherry on the cake. Ryuner continued, I know this is sudden, but we need to go now. Okay, let's go, Saitama said with his now excited expression. Eren was getting nervous right now. Where will you take us? Yeager say I can't say that yet. But, well, it's something like our hometown. He looked away with his eyes. So, what will it be, Eren? Saitama raised up his right thumb to Eren and whisper. Dude, you better decide quick cause I don't have a good feeling about the girl that is stalking us right now back there. The hero was meaning Mikasa. It's not a bad deal, right? Yeager continued and shifted his head back to Eren. You can easily avert this crisis. Eren said, a bit nervous. I wonder about that. His eyes turned ahead to see Armin waving at him and Mikasa staring them with a creepy and menacing expression. She must have heard the entire conversation the four had. Eren said to himself inside his mind, what the hell? And here I thought I had enough to think about yesterday. His eyes was facing the sky, trying to think what he will do. Saitama though didn't want to wait all day and turned to Yeager and Bertholdt. Oh, so you are the Titan that have armor around you? The hero asked so innocently indeed, and am still satisfied you understand the current situation, Saitama. Bertholdt exhaled and talked to Saitama. So, I have a question for you. How did you become so strong? To just punch titans and turning them into nothing. Saitama's expression turned into a sad one. You guys won't believe a word, but you want to know about it. Yes, we will. Yeager stopped Bertholdt and say he better tell us when we reach Zeiksen. Bertholdt nodded to both of them and him with Yeager waited Eren to decide. The caped Baldy's attention was now on Mikasa, who she was few meters away. Her hands was holding her blades. Oi, why you look like that? Oh, is it because you need to use the toilet? I know, right? There is none up here. She let go one of her swords and with her right hand, she threatened with her thumb Saitama by crossing it across her entire neck. Eren came back from his thoughts and put his hand on Yeager's shoulder. You're just tired, aren't you? Saitama heard him and said, no dude, they clearly told to us who they are, don't play idiot. Eren didn't believe a single word of the hero's mouth and proceed. Right, Bertholdt? You've been through so much it's making you crazy. Bertholdt instantly starts sweating and replied to the teenager. Why yeah, Yeager's just really tired. Saitama, forget what we said, we was joking with why. Saitama shook his head to him, there's nothing to be afraid of. Don't hide the truth about yourselves, you went too far now. The hero said while he crossed his arms together but with a blank expression planted on his face. Eren answered to them serious and nervous. No way, Saitama, besides, if you were really the armored titan that wants to destroy humanity, why would you be asking me this in the first place? What did you think would happen? That I'd nod to say sure, let's go. Yeager's face turned into a frightened one and exhaled heavily a few times. Right, that's right. What the hell was I thinking? Have I really gone crazy? Eren turned back and said to them and Saitama, come on, let's go. Saitama nodded and replied, guess we won't find out anything today, but ... okay. The expression he had when he encountered Burrows came back to his face while he was walking back with Eren. The wind started blowing even harder now and Saitama's cape was waving all around. It ripped apart a flag and its rod, taking it all the way down the wall by making a lot of noise. Everyone stopped walking and looked back to Eren and Saitama's direction. The sun's light came through the clouds. Mikasa's hand was shaking on her sword's grip. Yeager retorted, I see. That's it. I've been here too long for my own good. It's been 3 long years, surrounded by nothing but idiots. We were just kids. We didn't know anything. If only I knew that there were people like this, I wouldn't have become. His face was frustrated and frightened. Suck a half-assed piece of shit. It's too late now. I don't know what's right anymore. He take off the clothes from his injured hand. Everyone's attention was now on the 4 of them while Saitama was yawning from his boredom. Even still, Yeager continued, but the only choice for me now is to face the consequences of my actions. Come on, don't make it so dramatic. Saitama answered him, but Yeager didn't give a fuck. And as a warrior, steam was floating from his injured hand that was now healed up. Fulfill my duty to the bitter end. Eren opened his jaw from the fear. Saitama raised an eyebrow and asked, did he put his hand into a furnace? No answer, only determined. Bertholdt said. Yeager, are we doing it? Now? Right here? Yeah, we settle this. Right here, right now. He hastily walked to Eren, but Mikasa came from right behind Eren to slice Yeager. She performed a spinning top and reached Yeager, but the second she was about to gut him up, her blade was caught by a red glove. Oi, what the hell is your problem? They are still humans. They can still change their fates and choices they made. Saitama continued, who the hell are you to take away someone's life? Sure, they did some bad things to the past that I doesn't know, but that's not an excuse to slice him like a pig. Even if you try again, I won't let you. And you better stay put. You black hair yander shitty brat. If stairs could kill, that Baldy was dead. Mikasa pushed her sword to cut off Saitama's hand in half. but the blade broke instead and he was now holding the broken piece of it. Swords, weapons, and not a fan of those. He threw the piece to the edge of the wall and pointed Mikasa with his finger in a serious expression. You're not gonna survive if you behave others like that. Mikasa, she punched him directly to the face, grab another blade with her flea hand and throw it like a shuriken. It got into Bertholdt's chest. He screamed in pain and agony. Reiner cut on purpose his hand with the same blade and shouted. Bertholdt's orange lightning start covering both of them while Eren was watching in front of Reiner. Now you had it, annoying brat. Settle things with me first, Saitama said. He grabbed Mikasa's head with his right hand and lifted her whole body off ground. Suddenly she felt an enormous pressure coming from her head. She started yelling from pain and agony. She punched Saitama with her other hand, but it didn't do anything to him. Let him amigo bastard. Her head began to bleed and drops of blood was falling on the floor. Oh, sorry, that wasn't on purpose. You see, I didn't thought I was holding you that tight. He put her down, but it was too late. Deep inside her mind she knew this guy will die and suffer with the worst death possible. And it was about to be her responsibility. Everyone get out of the way, Armin shouted, and right after that 2 thunders from the sky shot right on Bertholdt and Reiner, forcing them to transform. Everyone except from Saitama flew away, including Eren, but he was grabbed by the armored titan. Bertholdt transformed only half-top on the wall. He extended his giant red hand and grabbed Ymir. Historia saw it and screamed as loud as she can. Ymir, the armored titan, grabbed Saitama too with his right hand and jumped off from the wall with both Eren and the hero. Eren, Saitama, Armin screamed, but Mikasa say with a dire injury on her head. Who gives a damn fuck about that baldy bastard? She lost more blood and lose her balance hand prevented her from falling. Eren, who was now in the grasp of the armored titan's left hand, cried and had flashbacks of memories about Bertholdt and Reiner. Reiner. He opened his eyes furious and bite himself. His transformation completely destroyed armored titan's hand and launched a punch on him. Saitama from the right hand of the armored titan was having his hand on his chin and told to himself, oh, so this is that armored titan. He looks tough. Let's see if he can handle a punch. The hero punched armored titan's right hand and destroyed it entirely too, just like Eren's transformation did. The hero was disappointed though. Nope, he is weak as shit like everybody else I have faced. Ho. They will fight now. He saw the attack titan launching a punch to the armored one, and for a few seconds he stared back up to see the half of the colossal titan on the wall. He thought again with a bit of excitement. This might be fun. You damn traitors. Those were the last words before Eren transformed into his titan form, punched armored titan's face and collided it with the wall all the way down to the solid ground. Who was now had both of his hands exploded from Eren's transformation and Saitama's normal punch. Both Eren and Reiner in their titan forms hit the ground and caused massive damage to it, making ashes and huge clouds of smoke coming out of the holes they made. As for Saitama, he didn't had a single scratch on him, only the debris, and the smoke got his suit all dirty. He landed gently to the ground a little further from Reiner and Eren while he said, oh man, my suit got all filthy. That red monster up there better be worthy. He was referring to the colossal titan that was on the wall half-top transformed. Back on the wall, Mikasa thought in her mind while she was still in a dire situation after her close combat with the unstoppable hero. If only I'd cut off his head. I could decapitate the others too. I could got rid of all 3 of them. That was the perfect chance. I should have been able to do it, but that baldy bastard prevented me from doing it. It's obvious he was with them all along. I knew it from the start. Something was awful with him and his shiny head. That motherfucker. She crawled near the edge, with still more drops of blood falling on the floor from her wound, and saw what was going on with Eren, Reiner and Saitama. She tried not to lose her senses and pass out, but she knew if that happened, she was good as dead. The colossal titan prepared to attack. Mikasa thought once more with a deadly expression on her face. That was it. There won't be another chance. The colossal begun his assault. He extended his gigantic left arm against the survey scouts. Everyone, jump away from the wall. Hands ordered and they obeyed. It got Ymir, Historia shouted, who stared the colossal titan's hands. He had someone else in his grasp too, and somebody else too. A random scout said before the colossal titan ate both of Ymir and the random guy that was holding in his other hand. He ate him. Historia's eyes widened in fear and despair. This can't be. Sasha spoke and Armin followed while they was hanging from the side of the wall. Bertholdt's hand hissed a little and then she figured out a plan. All soldiers, prepare to attack. We're taking down the colossal titan. It's a threat to all humanity. Hands retorted and launched herself back. She did a backflip and used her maneuver gear to get back on the wall. swarmed the huge bastard. All the scouts propelled themselves against the colossal titan. He attempted to punch them in a single blow, but his speed was too slow. Hange and the scouts flew right next of the giant arms and made their way behind his nape. Hange shouted to the scouts, "Now's our chance. Slice up his neck." The colossal titan suddenly opened his mouth and tons of hot steam were coming out of his entire body rapidly. "Everyone, fall back." Hange shouted to everyone and they flew back like flies. "My hand," a scout said while he were holding his hand. "Water, bring water," another one shouted back. Armin had a theory and he tried to launch his ODM gear to the colossal titan, but the hot steam threw it away. "We're unable to attack him with ODM gear. What do we do?" Hange's eyes considerably opened as she thought of something. "We can't do anything, but Saitama can." She ran to the edge and screamed as loud as she could. "Saitama, we need your help right now." At long last the hero heard her call. "Oh, they need me." Saitama with a small smile jumped all the way down where he were back on the wall, landing on the top. "Thank God you're not dead." Hange hugged him cause she knew they were running out of options and the hero was the only card in the deck they had remained. "Geez, you missed me so much already." She placed her hands on the caped hero's shoulders and asked him, "You are all that we have. Can you defeat the colossal titan?" She waited his answer with anguish. Saitama with a little bit of excitement planted on his face answered, "Sure, I really hope he won't go down with one punch too." Hange said before she let him go, "Forget about capturing them. Kill M. ... and don't hesitate." The hero gave a big question mark expression to Hange. "Kill M? Whoa, slow down a little. You mean this giant red monster is just like the Yeager guy, who transformed a few minutes ago and now he is fighting Eren?" Hange nodded to the hero and replied, "They both are inside the napes of those titans. You must kill them, Saitama. They are a huge threat to humanity." The hero holded his chin and asked, "So they are not monsters. They are humans inside monster napes and they controlling them?" Hange nodded again, giving him confirmation to the question. "Then I'll simply ask them to come out of the napes so we can talk this out right." Some soldiers was whispering with each other and some of the words could be heard like crazy or nuts. "How can you be so clueless about the situation we are in right now?" A soldier shouted to the hero that had his attention on the colossal titan. "Calm down, let me handle this," Hange told to the soldier in a menacing way. "Try your best to stop them at least, all right? If you do, humanity will be most welcome to you, Saitama." The hero nodded and prepared to go for it, but Mikasa stood up and screamed, "Hold on a second." "Oh, Mikasa." Armin looked back and saw her face, all bloody and furious. Her death stare was on the caped baldy. "How can we trust that bald bastard? After all he did. Don't you understand? We are in this situation because of him." She put out and equipped her blades on both hands. "He is a big threat to humanity too." Hange took quick glares to Mikasa and Saitama, but she didn't intervene. Saitama deadpanned and replied to her, "Look, black hair brat, I didn't mean to have an argue with you. And about what I did to your head, I'm really sorry, so what if we talk this out after I tell them both to come out of theirs napes? Will that calm you?" The hero ducked with an inhuman speed. Mikasa attempted to decapitate him, but she failed. "GHRR," she hissed with anger. Saitama turned around to face her with a neutral expression. "What is the big deal? I said I'm sorry. Can't you just forget what happened?" Hange stand in front of the hero and ordered Mikasa. "Enough, Mikasa. Stay away from humanity's only hope of killing or even capturing the colossal titan. If the subject is personal, you better keep it for yourself or keep the words for the court." Saitama was confused and scratched his left eyebrow. "Court?" he asked Hange. That she answered in return, "Nothing important. For now go up there and do whatever you think is right. If you don't want to kill him, then capture him. Only just ... Can you handle the heat there?" Saitama nodded and took some steps forwards. Hange turned around and replied to the scouts, "Armin and the squad 1 follow me. We've got a date with the armored titan. The others stay up here to watch the situation of the colossal." The scouts on the wall watched with wide open jaws Saitama. He was normally climbing the colossal titan's body all the way up next to his neck. The hot heat and the steam pressure were unaffecting him. The scouts hadn't seen anything like this in their entire lives. A man dressed like an idiot and claimed to be a hero just climbed the colossal titan with no hesitation nor fear. That baldy is immune to high temperatures. "How?" a scout shouted, grabbing their sights. Humanity had such weapon and didn't use it from the beginning of the mission. Everyone were just staring with awe. The hero, Historia, with now tears covering her eyes, said, looking at Saitama's location, "Saitama, please rescue Ymir." Connie wasn't had a clue who the Titans was, and said, frightened, while he carried a scout on his back, "Where are Eren and Bertholdt? They don't have their ODM gears either. Please go and help those two." The light brown hair girl didn't reply. She only stared back to Saitama. While Eren got punched from Yeager again, Saitama was on the colossal titan's shoulder and asked Bertholdt to come out. Can you please come out? You making things worse for you and your buddy Yeager. No response from the giant, but the hero noticed the colossal titan's face began getting ripped off, and the skull were becoming more visible. Though, back with Eren, he managed to copy Unni's technique against Yeager. He headlocked him and pushed him down to the ground, breaking slowly the armor around Armored Titan's body. Yeager tried to escape, but Eren shouted inside his mind and locked Armored Titan's head with his legs, slamming his face on the ground. Think again. Eren ripped off one of Yeager's legs and got back up, keeping a little distance between them. Eren, can you hear me? It was Armin. The attack titan shifted his head to the blonde. Run away. Get closer to the wall. Their goal is to kidnap and take you away. We've gotta escape and prevent that from happening. Eren followed the scouts to the wall. Nice, Eren. Good call. One of them shouted to the Titan shifter. Hange landed on top of Attack Titan's right shoulder and spoke. Listen up, Eren. If you're gonna escape, we've got to find a way to halt Yeager and buy you some time. I was about to ask Saitama to do this with punches, but can you break his leg with another one of those joint rocks? Our blades don't seem to work on him, so use your head and figure out the best course of action. The Attack Titan nodded to her, making Hange blush to him. Inside her mind, she now knew she would have two subjects to work on at the future, Saitama plus Eren. Damn it, I could give them to Mikasa, but her injury won't allow her to fight next with him and Eren. Armin said, disappointed. Yeager begun running to Eren. He knocked him down, but Eren wasn't ready to give up. One of the soldiers who were flying around the scene with Hange said, shit, since when could he move so quick? Another asked, are we completely useless here? Hange answered them with a serious expression. No, if his entire body was hard like stone, there's no way he could move like that. In the armor they used in wars of the past, it had sections at the joints not covered in metal to allow for movement, like at the armpits and groin, and also the spot behind the knee. We got a plan here. I hope the same luck for the hero against the colossal titan. Saitama saw all the limbs of the colossal titan skeletical. Oh, I see, the guy got out of the nape he was in. The hero jumped down of the now colossal corpse, and after some Atoscons he vanished. Eren, with the help of some scouts, had now pinned down Yeager. I can win. Against Yeager. I can win. They all encourage Eren even more. Keep at it. Don't let up. Yeager crawled a little bit closer to the wall, and then he screamed, sending out an ear-deafening sound. On the wall, everyone were watching the now torn-off colossal corpse. Connie figured out something about it. Hey. The bones of the corpse broke and caused it to lose its balance on the wall. A scout soldier screamed to Hange, Armin, and the others who were hanging from the side of the wall. Above you. Look out. The giant corpse fell on Eren and Yeager. Hange's expression turned into a scared one. Saitama couldn't fail, there's no way. Then how did this happen? The impact raised dust and shoved them all away. The last thing the survey scouts saw fleeing in the horizon was the armored titan with Eren in his mouth. On the top of the titan's shoulder was Bertholdt with an ODM gear equipped while he carried Ymir in his hands. Armin screamed in a despaired tone. Eren. Some minutes passed and most of the scouts were pretty badly injured. A scout who was laying next to Section Commander Hange lifted himself up and said, isn't that Commander Erwin? Erwin with multiple Survey Corps members arrived to the scene while he was riding the horse. Armin said inside himself, I never thought they'd ride along the wall. That's probably the quickest route. He spoke to Historia next to him. Krista. She shifted her head to him. I'd prefer if you stayed back, but she cut him off. No matter what you say, I won't. I refused to wait here when Ymir was taken away. You two should know how I feel. Connie found the opportunity and joined the conversation. Krista has a point, Armin. We have plenty of reasons for chasing after them, one of which I cannot believe, that Yeager and Bertholdt are our enemies. I've gotta hear it straight from their mouths. Connie had a serious expression planted on his face. Erwin dismounted from his horse, and one guard greeted his arrival. You made it, Commander Erwin. He changed subject and asked, is the situation the same? Yes, sir. Good. Deploy the lifts. Hange grabbed Moblet's foot. Hange. Moblet, gimme a map. After he accomplished the task he was given, everyone was gathered around Hange to hear the plan to save Eren and Saitama if the hero was still breathing. She put her fingers on the map and started pointing on it. It might be a long shot, but there's a giant forest here. We should head straight for it. Though, it's not like they have a way to hide the armored titan's footsteps, but I think that's where they're headed. Erwin raised an eyebrow to her and asked in surprise, what about? Saitama. Hange didn't want to discuss about that cause it was a bad timing with Mikasa around. But there wasn't a way to avoid it. Unknown is probably dead or captured. Erwin turned his gaze at the horizon and said, I highly doubt about that man's death, cause he's strong. Hange continued to explain their rescue plan. Few hours later with Yeager and Bertholdt. Bertholdt exhaled and felt relieved. We did it, Yeager. We got Bo. A calm voice that was coming from the other shoulder of the armored titan spoke. Why you two left all of a sudden? Bertholdt couldn't believe what he saw. It was Saitama who was picking his nose with a blank expression planted on his face. Yeager, he's on your right shoulder, kill him. The armored titan with a swift swing grabbed Saitama in his hand and attempted to squish the hero like a bug. You are being rude, you know. The baldy karate chopped armored titan's hand and it got completely smashed. Cracks of the armor was falling apart. No way. His strength is crazy, it's impossible. Saitama now stand up blocking their path. You know my suit got all filthy here, so could you do me a favor and let me test if you can handle a punch? Bertholdt blinked a few times and shouted again. Yeager, kill him. The armored titan launched a punch right on Saitama, but the hero's mood turned serious and retorted in a manly tone. Armored titan's right arm was completely destroyed and he entirely fall down. He spitted Eren out of his mouth and grumbled in pain. Hot steam came out of the half-shredded titan body. No armor is hard enough for Saitama not be able to penetrate. Bertholdt lost his balance and hit the ground, both him and the unconscious Ymir. I see you have two hostages too, in that case. Let them go now or else. Saitama's eyes were covered by shadows before he shifted his head back to face Bertholdt. Get punched. Bertholdt's eyes showed an emotion he never had experienced against other enemies before, true terror. Erwin shouted in a determined tone to everyone behind, while riding his horse in the first line. Let's move. The Survey Corps decided with Hange's plan to chase down the two traitors and rescue Eren, Ymir and Saitama. Erwin was 100% sure in his mind. The hero wasn't dead. Erwin extended his left hand and ordered the soldiers, spread out, take formation to locate any enemies. They all listened and split in multiple groups of 4 or even 5 and 6 riders. Connie was next to Sasha and Historia. Sasha dropped a sweat from her forehead and thought about Saitama. I hope he's alive. He must be. She gritted her teeth a little bit and holded tighter the grip of her horse. Another group was Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Hans and a few more. While Mikasa were riding her horse, the injury on her head had turned into a scar. Fingerprints could be seen on it. She didn't say a word, she only had two things in her mind. Save Eren and kill the baldy with the worst death possible, if he's still breathing. Eren, she thought. Eren woke up on a large tree branch next to Ymir. She was missing her right leg and hand but didn't seem to suffer from pain. Oh, Eren, you're awake. Eren noticed Yeager and Bertholdt who were on a higher branch. The scars from both Eren's and Ymir's transformations was still quite visible. He tried to move his arms but both were mutilated. Only steam came out cause of the Titan healing ability. What the hell? My arms. Ymir replied to him with a calm expression. Eren, look at me. I'm in the same shape as you. Guess the both of us are having a bad day. He said. Ymir, why don't I have any arms? Yeager answered right away. That's my bad. I'm the one who did that. Eren lifted his head slowly at the source of Yeager's voice. I kinda was in a hurry. When I rushed to bite your nape, I neglected to take your arms into account. Eren looked back down and said, I see. I must have lost. He put his arm close to his mouth, ready to bite it and transform again. Bertholdt stood up from the other branch and said, Eren, stop. Ymir placed her hand on Eren's and lowered it. Hold your horses, Eren. Take a good look around us. We're in the giant forest within Wall Maria. It's not even close to any of the walls. In other words, we're deep in Titan territory. Take a look. I think that one down there's an abnormal. It looks like he's just lounging around, but he's not taking his eyes off us. Titans were all around the trees trying to climb them up, but they always failing. Ymir continued with a serious expression planted on her face. There's a lot of small ones down there, too. Over that way's another big one. He is staring at us, but won't come any closer. I bet you that one's a scaredy cat. She placed her arm on Eren's shoulder. And then you've got these chumps and their freaking weirdo buddy. She pointed Yeager and Bertholdt with her finger. Those dirty bastards. Eren whispered and Ymir continued, they're the only ones with any ODM gear on. Yeager is wearing gear he took from you. So I don't think changing into a Titan at this point is going to solve anything. A voice yawned from above their heads and said, Oh, of course not, it won't solve a thing. Saitama landed right next to Eren and Ymir, making all of them shift their attentions to him. Saitama, thank God you're here. Eren started laughing to Yeager and Bertholdt. Ha 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 ha, you bastards are screwed now. Both Yeager and Bertholdt had multiple drops of sweat falling from their heads. I won't fight them, dude. I just want to find out why they kidnapped you both and why they did what they did, Saitama said to Eren with a blank expression on his face. Eren felt disappointment and asked the hero, Saitama, why? Why you keep protecting them? You got the power to turn them into nothing. Saitama picked his nose and replied, while they're humans, they can still change. Can you listen to me? Eren shifted his head to Yeager and answered Saitama. I assure you they're nothing like humans, they truly are heartless monsters. Saitama shook the shiny head of his and said, aha, okay, now what you have to say about it. The caped Baldy's sights shifted towards Ymir. You speaking to me? I don't even know you, Baldy. The only information I have about you is that you're their weirdo buddy. Saitama's expression turned serious and ludicrous at the same time. I'm not their buddy, and hey, I know what you'll say. That I'm only 25 and lost all of my hair, so what if I'm bald? You got a problem with that? The female Titan shifter shook her head right and left to give a negative answer. Good. I don't like it when people always complaining about me being bald. Ymir turned her head to Yeager. Hey, Yeager, you said you would talk once Eren woke up. It's about time one of you says what you plan to do with us and with him. She pointed Saitama with her irises. We'll take you to our hometown. All three of you. I realize that you're not going to listen to me like Saitama did. He continued talking while he glared the three of them in a serious expression. But like Ymir was saying, this place is swarming with titans. Even if we tried to beat the shit out of each other, he would simply kill all the titans around us and then he'll take us all out of our napes. He was mentioning Saitama, who put his head resting on his right hand. He promised not to hurt us cause we are humans, but he declined to kill all the titans. So until nightfall, when the titans can't move, we have no choice but to wait here. Eren took a few seconds to process this, and after that he shifted towards Saitama. You can kill the titans with your punches and then we'll beat the living shit out of both of them together. You are humanity's savior. Ymir joined the conversation. There's no way. This must be a child's story or something. Did you just said with his punches? Saitama nodded and gave confirmation. Ymir start laughing to the hero. You think you're a hero or something? Stupid Baldy, you won't last 10 seconds. Thou Saitama in the next 10 seconds had punched 5 titans and turned them into vaporizing blood. After another 10 seconds he had returned on the branch next to them. He had a speed beyond their eyesights. He pointed his clenched red fist to Ymir while steam was floating and fading away. Indeed, I'm a hero, purely a hobby. Let me tell you something. The caped hero's expression turned serious. You don't really understand what a hero is. There are so many extremely powerful villains in my world. I will figure it out about this world soon enough too. A hero is someone who takes on those villains. And you, Eren, want to kill your own kin so badly even though you know humanity in this world living in extinction. You want to solve everything with violence. None of that make any sense. Let me as a hero find a proper solution. Both of you don't underestimate heroes, you jerks. Eren calmed down and stared away with embarrassment while Ymir stood up angry and came face to face with Saitama. Shut your mouth. What would you know about me? She launched a punch at him. Ymir was surprised to see Saitama had not moved an inch. Her eyes widened in shock as her punch collided with his face. She couldn't believe it and stumbled backwards on the branch, looking at her fist in utter shock. How the fuck did you? She trailed off looking at Saitama. She stared at him with a sense of fear befalling her. But he looked at her with a now bored expression planted on his face. I didn't want to argue with you. You just underestimate me like everybody else in my world, but to be honest I don't care. Ymir stuttered, trying to get the words to leave her mouth. Yeager, explain now. He nodded to her and began to explain. We had you, me and Bertholdt on my shoulder, but then this hero guy came and defeated me with a single blow. I first didn't believe how fast and strong he was, but his strength is truly like what Eren said when we first met him in Utgard. Out of this world. I tried to punch him but he headbutted and shredded the entire right side of my titan body. The armor broke like it was nothing. Thank God he showed mercy and gave us permission to bring you here, but with one condition. To come along with us, and we agreed. Saitama nodded to Eren and Ymir. Yeah, that's correct. Eren came back to reality and thought inside his mind. At this rate, I can't do anything. At this rate, what happened to everybody? Where are the scouts? Don't tell me they're coming this way. If they try to help, no one's gonna make it back safely. Unless Saitama save our weak selves. Ymir asked Yeager. Forget it. Anyways, what's it matter? Those titans at the castle move just fine at night. Won't these titans too? The titans here can't move at night. Yeager replied back to her and continued. You should know all about it, Ymir. Eren shifted his head and all his thoughts were about Ymir. Speaking of which, why can Ymir turn into a titan? I don't think she's like me, who knew nothing about it. Is she on our side like Saitama? Damn, I clearly understand why Saitama is protecting those assholes but doesn't allow them to hurt us either. It's because he told us about being a hero. It's obviously from the world he came, the people are different. And he said to us about plenty more heroes existing inside of it. But for Ymir, I don't know what her goal is yet. She's hard enough to understand as it is. Eren's gaze turned to Yeager and Bertholdt. I've made up my mind. Right now, what I need is information. I need to figure out everything I can from these guys, and then I'll make my escape, with Saitama hoping. To do that, Eren gritted his teeth furiously to suppress all my emotions. Just like Saitama, he is always so emotionless even when he faced titans. He didn't show fear nor doubt. 1 minute before he instantly killed 5 titans at once. He absolutely is a hero. But now I'll just wait. For my body to heal. The scouts were on their way, but then they encountered the first titan. The scout on his horse replied to the other. Titan spotted at 3 o'clock. Fire the smoke. The other scout aimed a flare gun he had to the sky and shot straight up to signal the others. Smoke shell confirmed on the right wing. A scout next to Erwin said, and the commander gave an order to them. Do not change direction. Have the right wing merge with the center and hold course. We only have until sunset. We must take the most possible path. He finished and led the way. Hans was trying to keep up with Mikasa. Mikasa, hey, Mikasa, Mikasa. She shifted her head back and faced him. Stop pushing so hard. You're drifting near the vanguard. It'll ruin the whole formation. I know how you feel, but didn't I tell you? Eren won't get taken away without putting up a fight. Don't you agree? She nodded and kept listening. You know he'll never give up. So it's up to us to stay calm and be there when he needs us. He had flashbacks of Eren and Mikasa as children, just like we did back then. Mikasa placed her gaze forward and she holded her scarf. Ymir asked Yeager with a now more relaxed expression. Yeager, you got any water? If I don't get some soon, I'm going to dry up and die. Yeager, who now had both of his arms crossed together, answered. Even if it's a matter of life and death, there's nothing we can do given our situation. Ymir responded with still smoke coming out of her non-existing right hand. Their regeneration powers needed hours to fully heal them. He's completely right. This situation couldn't be any shittier. The hero raised an eyebrow and replied. Oi, you need water. I'll bring you some, okay? Saitama now had everyone's eyes on him. You seriously saying that you will run all the way back to the scouts for just bringing me water? The hero scratched his chin and said with a dumb face, oh my god, I almost forgot. I'll tell them that you're both safe and sound too, but I think I'll meet up with them on the road cause they must be on their way here. Yeager, we can't do. Yeager interrupted Bertholdt. You saw how fast he is. Even with ODM gears, there's no way for us to keep up after him. His speed have outclassed even Captain Levi, that's what I'm sure of too. Yeager shifted towards Saitama. I know I can't stop you, but remember this, hero. We will fight you with everything we've got. We won't be satisfied until you're dead. Saitama yawned again and answered with a boredom expression planted on him. Oh, is that all? Can I go bring her some water now? Yeager nodded, knowing that he can't do something to avoid it. In a couple of Atoskons, Saitama jumped off the branch and ran away, leaving a huge trail of dust behind him. Even the titans didn't saw him leaving to chase after him. So now it was only Yeager, Bertholdt, Eren and Ymir. Hey, Yeager. Bertholdt stared his friend who was watching the smoke Saitama left behind. You truly think we can kill him? He possesses powers we cannot possibly archive on our own. No, Bertholdt, he will die by my hand. And I want to make it clear to both of you too, he faced Eren and Ymir. No matter the super strength, incredible speed nor the courage he has, that hero named Saitama is just a fucking human. Bertholdt placed his hand on Yeager's shoulder. That's where you're wrong. He looks like a human but he's not. Ymir jointed them and asked what you mean by that. Back then when I transformed into my colossal form, no one was able to reach my nape in order to defeat me. But I saw this bald man, with the yellow suit and white cape climbing on top of my body without even trying. The hot steam didn't have any effect on him. That Saitama is extremely dangerous. He's immune to the high temperature of my body. It didn't even push him away like the scouts. That hero could easily put me out of my nape with no effort at all. Yeager released a word from his mouth and cursed it. Saitama. He got sick of the conversation about the ultra-human and changed subject. Speaking of which, ever since the Titans showed up yesterday morning, we've been working our asses off, with nothing to eat or drink and not even a wink of sleep. Fortunately, the wall wasn't broken or anything. Yeager continued while he holded his nose. So I think we deserve to take a break for once. We'll see about getting promoted later. Bertholdt spoke with a sad tone in his voice. Yeager said, what? We've done plenty enough to deserve it. I think we've performed outstandingly. considering all we've been put through, especially with this hero. I know soldiers like us are expected to fulfill their duties, but I think we've all earned it. Ymir showed disbelief and asked Yeager, what in the world are you talking about? He took off the hand from his nose. Huh? What do you mean? I'm not saying we go demand to be promoted to captains or anything. She replied, that's not what I mean. Yeager said, oh, yeah. Where did you all get that cannon from? That really saved my ass. It's a good thing Krista helped me after that. To be honest, I think she has a thing for me. Hey, now that I think about it, Krista has always treated me especially. Eren stooped up angry and screamed, hey. Eren's eyes were stuck on Yeager now. You bastard. You've gotta be kidding me. Yeager, confused, asked him, huh? What are you so angry about, Eren? Did I say something wrong? Eren shouted once again, if you want to die, keep talking. A huge conversation plus argue start between Eren and Yeager on the branches, while the hero was running with 100 kilometers per hour per second. After a few more boring minutes, he spotted the scouts and Erwin to the front of the lines. Aha, it's Yawan. The scouts saw a huge cloud of dust approaching them and shouted to each other, it's a titan. No, it's a rider. Erwin felt relief inside him and exhaled before he answered to them. It's Saitama. The caped baldy slowed down to match with their horses. He was now next to Erwin's horse and waved at him. Yo Yawan, a scout next to him, answered furiously. It's Commander Erwin, you idiot. Saitama ignored him and shifted his gaze to Erwin, who had a moderately smile. I knew you wasn't dead, and as I see, you're able to keep up with our speed and even further beyond that. Saitama replied with a boredom expression, may it's nothing besides the horses are too slow. Never mind, I'm here for a cup of water. Where I can find one, cause a girl needs it or she will die by dehydration. Erwin responded almost instantly. There's a small lake to where the right formation is. Go, but don't leave for good. We need you to find Eren and Ymir. Saitama raised an eyebrow and responded, yep, Ymir, that's the chick, and I was with them. They are inside the forest of giant trees. And 2 more guys are keeping them company. A blonde one named Yeager, I think, and a tall black-haired one. Erwin nodded and felt a lot more calmed right now. Glad to know we have you on our side. Saitama will keep going forward towards their location. Do whatever you want to do and then come back here. We will rescue them both. Saitama shook his head up down and ran at the right side of the formation, where Mikasa, Armin, Hands and the others were. Look at Saitama. Armin pointed with his finger while everyone was staring with awe and utter shock. The hero who just passed by next to them with an inhuman speed. Mikasa was shocked too. She didn't want to believe the baldy was so strong and fast, but that was the truth. No way. Those were the only words she could say. Sasha, on the other hand, wanted to stop and dismount from her horse. Connie prevented her from doing so. But I wanna talk to him. Don't be so stubborn, Sasha, enough. Saitama slowed down next to Sasha and Connie. Oh, it's you, right? The girl named Sasha, right? She blushed so much to the hero. She shifted her head from the other side. Saitama. The hero reacted just in time and grabbed Sasha, putting her to rest in his hug before she fall from her horse. Whoa, relax now, Sasha. It's like you saw the biggest lobster having an 80% discount in the supermarket. Saitama explained to them Ymir's need of water. Sasha remembered she have something that might help. I have a canteen with me. We can go together. If you want. Saitama nodded down to Sasha, who rested in his arms, leaving her completely exposed with red cheeks around her face. Saitama and Sasha left off their next stop, closest lake. Most of the scouts that witnessed what just happened with the hero and the potato girl wasn't able to process it in their minds. But that wasn't the time to worry about these two. After a long fight between Yeager and Bertholdt against Eren and Ymir, the 2 traders saw the green smokes in the horizon. They knew the scouts were reaching them. Bertholdt thought in a surprised expression, the scouts. Are already. Yeager hissed that said, damn it. Eren said inside himself while he were staring at the horizon. There's just 1 hour left until sunset. Saitama, hero, where are you? So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.